Yeah, hey everybody, this is Ian from Mindful Marketplace, and in this short course, I'd like to invite those of you who are interested in learning how to use mindfulness for ADHD or ADD or any sort of attentional deficit issue or problem. I know that, like many of you, I have personally suffered from all sorts of attentional related issues pretty much my entire life. And while that has certain benefits or brings a certain amount of creativity and fun to the thinking process, it also has some really clear liabilities that have impacted my life for a long time. And being somebody who is very systems oriented from the standpoint of creating kind of heuristics and frameworks that can help me, I created this system. I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, to incorporate within my own practice, and it's something that's really been quite transformative for me personally, and something that I've shared with many others in our mindful marketplace community, and many others have at least reported really good, helpful benefits as well. So I share it here with you in the hopes that it serves you well. And we have an entire course. This is just the sort of precursor to the course, the kind of the social cards that we created to teach this course in the context of a larger cohort and community. And if you're interested in signing up for that, I encourage you to either send me an email or you can visit the link in our bio if you're listening to this on Instagram, or partners.mindfulmarketplace.com for more. All right, so without further ado, here we go. Really quickly, I want to get this done in about 3 minutes, but essentially, this entire system is a simple heuristic or framework for training attention. It's unique. This is something that I created for myself, as I mentioned a minute ago. And it's really a simple sequence of steps that's really easy to understand, and it will help you improve focus, cultivate concentration, and in a fun and sort of measurable way, allow you to maintain mindfulness over the course of the day. And when I say maintain mindfulness, I'm talking about a very specific type of awareness or attention that is much different than maybe how many other folks are using the word mindfulness, in kind of the popular culture. We're going to cover much more about that in the course as well, but I'll cover some more sort of, I'll elaborate a little bit more about this as well here. So essentially, what we're aiming to do here is maintain continuous breath awareness, which is the end objective of this particular practice. And we're going to cover some really super simple objectives on our way to to get there. Or let me restate that. We're going to actually cover some of the basics before we get to the end objective so you understand exactly how this will land in your life. So the first step, and this is, I think it's 6 steps here. The first step is intention, which I define as in the service of, right? So what is the goal of your practice? And while many folks will tell you that mindfulness shouldn't have a goal or an end objective, that's actually antithetical to the practice, I disagree with that, and I think that having an intention in the service of something, you want your practice to either cultivate more compassion, more wisdom, more awareness, more, something. We all have goals, whether they're stated or not. So in this particular practice, we really simply want to cultivate better concentration and attentional skills, because we are, as a group, folks who suffer from some form of attentional deficit, right? So obviously, having an intention is an important piece of this process for me. All right, number 2 is attention, which is the spotlight of awareness, or your ability to aim awareness in a particular direction for a particular period of time. This is my definition of attention. Location. Right now, this is a somatic practice, so we're going to be using the body to measure where our focus flows. And the body is really a great way of anchoring attention in a very measurable way. So you actually get a strong sense of how strong your attentional skills are in a given moment by dint of using the body, using the either internal interoceptive or exteroceptive elements of your awareness with as it applies to your body to see how strong your attention is. So for an example, if you are aiming your attention at the heart or the hands or the feet, you will get a really strong sense of how strong your attentional skills are, again, by virtue of what you feel in those places and spaces on the body. And that's covered in number 4, which is sensation. What does it feel like? What does it feel like when you aim or direct your attention to various parts, either on or within, or either within your body or on your skin? It's a it's a very easy way of gauging how strong your mindfulness is. Do you feel hot? Do you feel cold? Does it feel heavy? Do you feel buzzing or a vibration? All of these things are the sensations that begin to appear in the canvas of consciousness as you begin to actually master this particular practice. Visualization. And again, this is specifically for helping with ADD or attentional deficit challenges. What does it look like? So, can you get a mental picture of the sensations? Does heat in the hands look like something to you? Does it give you a image or a picture that emanates or arises in your awareness? What appears in the canvas of your consciousness when you aim attention in a particular place or space within the body? Number 6, concentration. How close can you get to it? And this is really when this practice begins to take hold. How often can you come back to the object of attention when you lose it? And of course, if you're somebody who struggles with any sort of attentional deficit challenge, your concentration is really the bullseye here that we're actually looking to improve, right? So, how close can you get to something and how long can you hold it? And this becomes really quite salient as we refine and develop this practice in the next step. So, like I said, the bullseye here is the breath. We're going to be aiming for continuous breath awareness, which is placing your awareness and concentration on the breath, actually in a very specific place at the nostrils. So right above your lip and right as the breath enters and exits your nose through the nostrils. This is where you want to aim your attention. This is not mine. This is obviously very, very foundational mindfulness or vipassana practice. You want to aim your attention at the entrance of the nostrils, right? And just watch the breath come in and watch the breath go out. And this is where we are going to actually focus the entirety of our practice. So the breath is always with us. Obviously, we're always breathing, and it makes this an ideal anchor or a object of stable attention. So you can always come back. The breath is the quintessential mindfulness alarm in the sense that you can always come back to the breath as a way of gauging your moment to moment experience. Number 2, this is really important, you aren't going to be paying 100% attention to the breath all day. It's just not possible. Like, you're going to keep losing it, and that's part of the point, right? It's part of the plot. You want to have as much of your awareness on your breath in that particular space, the nostrils, as often, as frequently as you can. But even if you only have 30 or 40%, even if you're only tangentially, tangentially aware that you have awareness on that part of your face, you are going to be doing this practice the right way, and you're going to be getting really big benefits from doing this on a consistent basis. So even if you're talking, you're studying, you're reading, you're working, you're running, anything that you're doing in the world, even if only a percentage of your awareness is on the object of attention, right, is on the continuous breath awareness, you will benefit from this practice. You just want to be aware it's there. And again, there's never going to be 100% success rate. So it's not even, it's not about punishing yourself for not doing this properly. All right. When you find yourself wandering off the breath, which is going to happen over and over and over again, you're going to be distracted. You're going to pay attention to something. You're going to see a bunny, whatever it is. You just want to be aware that you've wandered off the breath and come back to the breath. And one of the most interesting um, definitions of the word mindfulness is remembering. I think some of the original, either Pali or Sanskrit, that the word mindfulness in that language meant, I think it was sati, and it meant to remember. And I think that's a really interesting way of incorporating this idea of the actual practice is when you wander off, you come back. And the act of coming back over and over again, bringing your active awareness back to the same place, to the entrance of your nostrils. In this practice, it could be anywhere else in another practice, but coming back over and over again. This is how you actually strengthen and harden and optimize your attentional skills, your skillfulness at coming back to the breath, coming back to the object of your attention when you have a propensity for wandering off. All right. Oh, look, a bunny. We all get that. I mean, I can't tell you how many things that I lose plot wise in the course of a day simply by dint of a distraction or looking in the wrong direction when my attention should be, you know, dedicated or applied elsewhere, right? So, I used to beat myself up about that. I drink a lot of coffee. You probably can hear that even now. But I have learned over time that just coming back over and over again, using my breath, using my body, and just becoming more and more receptive to to the object of my practice, which is to just refine and improve and optimize my own resources for paying attention to my life and not letting my mind just go into all these weird and wonky places and spaces where it doesn't belong. So the act of coming back to the breath over and over again is actually a sign that you're doing it right. It's not about super gluing your attention to the tip of the nose, or it's not about super gluing your attention to any object of your awareness. It's simply about coming back, being present, being aware, and remembering that this is your life moment to moment and being as perfectly present with that awareness as you can be over and over and over again. And in my view, this has really been a phenomenal way for training attention and improving my own ability to concentrate, to stick with things in a natural and evolving way. It gets easier and easier and better and more enjoyable as well. So, one of the really poorly advertised features of meditation or mindfulness in particular is that when you become really concentrated, it is a blissful feeling. It is almost like a drug high. There's actually a whole suite of terminology that refers to the almost drug like experience that people get from really becoming concentrated. It's euphoric, it feels good, you want more of it. And in my experience, it actually feeds and builds on itself in the sense that I keep on wanting to improve and get better and pay more and more attention to the experience of being present moment by moment without allowing myself to kind of dance and prance and get myself, all kind of distracted by the bright and shiny things that have historically, kind of knocked me off track. So this is really the nuts and bolts of this particular practice. I've written quite a bit about this in our community. People have really seemed to benefit from this, and if you're interested in joining this next course that we have on this actual practice, send me an email. You can reach out to me on Twitter at Ian Hollander on Twitter. Mindfulmarketplace@gmail.com is the appropriate email address to let us know if you're interested, or you have a child, or you want the PDF that I've created that walks through this process as well. It's only a couple pages, and lots of parents have used it with their kids, have customized it for their own families or their own needs. But these are the sorts of courses that we have for mental health professionals, therapists, doctors, teachers, trainers, coaches, anyone who truly wants to make a impact on their own clients and community using mindfulness techniques that really do work. So teach what you know, do what you love, wake up the world with your work. If you're interested in joining us for this course on mindfulness training for ADHD, again, feel free to get in touch with me, and I'll send you a link to register if you're watching this on Instagram or listening to this on Instagram. Instagram is so screwy with respect to links, but you can check out the link in the bio, and that should lead you to the right place to sign up. Okay, thank you so much as always for watching, and have a wonderful night.